Embark on your civil services journey with Vision IS. Introducing the Delhi GS Foundation Course 2026, turning UPSC dreams into reality. Access interactive learning tools, animations, videos, and an immersive interface. Utilize our tech-enabled student portal for performance tracking and personalized feedback. Stay ahead with daily assignments, weekly mini-tests, and monthly revisions. Strengthen your preparation with expert-researched, UPSC pattern study material. Delhi General Studies Foundation Course 2026. Batches start 29th November, 5 p.m., Karol Bagh. 19th November, 9 a.m., Karol Bagh. Take the first step towards success. With Vision IS, success is just a step away.
So let's start with the Buddhism. So I was about to read that what all themes, एक मिनट मुझे दे दो, ठीक है? Just I'll read it for you that what all themes we are going to see in this part. So पहले तो state patronage, trade networks, and then its reach to the different parts and that what role monastic order has played. So chalo. So I'll go into the discussion direction. Buddhism. अब देखो, obviously that you have studied it in the classes that Buddha's life and then Buddha's doctrine and then so as that Buddha's monastic order which we call Sangha. So now when it comes to that state patronage of the Buddhism, okay, and basically we are talking about this, today's episode of the master class is associated with the spread of the Buddhism outside India, okay, and the survival of the Buddhism outside India and what all efforts have gone into these all. So first of all, that one very big role played by that Indian ruling dynasties in the survival of the Buddhism and traverse of Buddhism into the many parts of the world. So let's have a discussion one by one from the beginning. The initial patronizer, who was the initial patronizer from the Indian history of the Buddhism? Bimbisar. Okay? He was contemporary of the Buddha and he used to patronize Buddha. Then Bimbisar's timeline was from 554 to 492. Then after, it is said that once Bimbisar met Buddha and then after he was highly influenced from his personality. Then after, the second person who patronized Buddhism in a real way was his son Ajatashatru. Then, so tell me example, what ways? Very good, exactly, Buddhist councils. Then, so 483 BC, Buddha's death and convening the first Buddhist council at Rajagriha. So this council was patronized by Ajatashatru, which led to the preservation of the teachings of the Buddha into two books, that is Sutta Pitak and Vinaya Pitak. Sutta Pitak, original teachings, and Vinaya Pitak, the rules, regulation, discipline to be followed by the monks in the that monasteries. Then after, the next important link in this one, or we can say most important link, okay? Sorry, that most important is the Ashoka, but in between is the next dynasty, Kalashok, from the Sashunag dynasty. So his patronization, but when it comes to traverse of Buddhism outside India, it all starts from the time of Ashoka. Iske pehle tak Buddhist missions were limited to India only, different parts of the Indian subcontinent, even not Sri Lanka, only Indian subcontinent. But when Ashoka has arrived, So after the Ashoka's initial part of the life, he was follower of Ajivika. After the Kalinga war, he has seen that massacre. He is moved by that massacre, and then after, under the guidance of his younger brother, who was already a Buddhist monk, his name was Mogali Putta Tessa, he became a Buddhist. And then after, what he did was very exemplary for the preservation and the propagation of the Buddhism. So what he did, he is the first monarch in India to start the missionary activity of the Buddhism. First, he sent his son and daughter, Mahendra and Sanghamitra, to Sri Lanka to propagate Buddhism. But then, this move of Ashoka also led to the preservation of the holy tree, that is Bodhi tree. So Bodhi tree, a sapling was taken from Bodh Gaya, and then it was planted at a place called Anuradhapuram in Sri Lanka. And moreover, Anuradhapuram in Sri Lanka, and then later on, when Shashank, god of the Bengal, has cut the original Bodhi tree, the original generation survived in Sri Lanka. And in today's time, all over the world, if there is a Bodhi tree, so that is brought from the Sri Lanka. In fact, Delhi mein bhi ek jagah hai. You have any idea? Not far from this place, then very closer to this place, 5 kilometers yahan se, Buddha Jayanti Park. There is a Bodhi tree over here that was brought from Sri Lanka. Last year, when Japanese Prime Minister, he came to India, so he visited Buddha Jayanti Park. And he had some golgappas with our Prime Minister over there. So that is the same Bodhi tree which has been brought from Sri Lanka. Okay? Then, moreover, he sent Buddhist missions to many places. Okay? So many places like Myanmar also, Thailand also, Central Asia also. So this is how Ashoka has sent it outside India. Moreover, when he has sent it outside India, so it is said that in the early medieval centuries, when Buddhism started to decline from India, it survived outside India. And one effort was from the side of the Ashoka. Then after the Ashoka, the next emperors who have patronized, 3 emperors we need to mention. So next is the Kanishk. Okay? Kanishk, who convened Buddhist council in Kashmir, and that's how Buddhism has reached to Kashmir. And it started to be preserved in the areas of the Ladakh. So Leh Ladakh area. And it became a kind of a very popular tradition. From here it has gone to the China, and then China may be Tibet part, and so as the in Uyghur province of the China also. Okay? So Uyghur, which is in today's time more known for the Uyghur Muslims, but then that was also the place of the Buddhism. Then next person was Harshvardhan. So Harshvardhan convened 2 Buddhist council, Prayag and Kannauj, and at the time of the Harshvardhan, Hwensang was there in India. So we will talk about Hwensang separately also, but over here. So he was there in India, and this was a big sort in the arm of the Mahayana Buddhism. And Mahayana Buddhism was popularized in many parts of India, so as the Buddhist monks who are arriving from the different parts of the world, they have taken Mahayana Buddhism into the different parts of the world. Last but not the least was the Pal dynasty. So Pal dynasty of the Eastern India. Founder of the Pal dynasty was the Dharmapal, Gopal, but then the most important ruler, Dharmapal, who was the biggest protector of the Buddhism and patronizer of the Buddhism. So it is during the tenure of the Pala rulers, the 3rd version of Buddhism emerged, which is called as Vajrayana Buddhism. And it is the Vajrayana Buddhism which has reached to Tibet. So I'll come back to Tibet ek baar fir se. Pehle initial background I'm giving to you. Okay? So from there it has reached to Tibet, and Tibet happens to be one of the most important place from the perspective of the that Buddhist population. Now I'll ask one such unique question. In which country, percentage-wise, which country has the highest percentage of Buddhist population as compared to their population? Is it China? So how much percentage is there in the China? 6%. Okay? So 6%, which comes around 8 to 9 crore people in China are Buddhist. Then what is the percentage in Japan? Japan has a 66% of its population is Buddhist. Okay? So I hope that you will be able to give the answer, but you did not give. Mongolia. 93% population of the Mongolia is Buddhist. Okay? So in today's time, it is the country which has the highest percentage population of the Buddhist. Okay? But then number wise highest they are in China. Okay? So number wise highest in China, second number Japan, India comes at the fourth position. Okay? Number wise. Then Thailand also, but Thailand's population is not so high. Okay? Thailand also has more than 80% population is Buddhist, and but then their population is not higher. Then, so now let's come back to this part. So how Buddhism? Let's understand that Buddhism in one way, these kings have spread Buddhism outside India, but are they only people? कि इनके सिर्फ एफर्ट से ये ऐसा हो जाता? One of the biggest role played in the spread of the Buddhism is the trade networks. There would not have been the greater spread of the Buddhism without the trade networks then. And the trade networks basically that India's trade with the Southeast Asia, okay? Then India's trade with the countries in Central Asia and India's trade with the China. And the road which is famous, that is Silk Route. So Silk Route was the busiest route in the world in those times, and then the traders, okay? So traders and then religious teachers, they all are using this particular route. So let's understand there is that the one role, okay? Understand that there was kings have done the first part, but the second part has been done by the traders. So once suppose that Buddhism has been is reaching to Central Asia. तो जब सेंट्रल एशिया पहुंचा तो बुद्धिज्म के साथ ट्रेडर्स भी जा रहे हैं, ठीक है? ट्रेडर्स आर ऑल्सो गोइंग, एंड देन at the same point of time Buddhism and traders, they are kind of that parallel to each other, cooperating with each other. And moreover, there was one practice in the Buddhism, okay, that when the traders were rich, so they are obviously giving the gift to the spiritual leaders. So Buddhism has a practice of the dan, generosity. And this dan was like that if anybody is giving, okay, any such type of the alms, okay, kuch bhiksha, so to the Buddhist spiritual leaders, so in return they used to promise them that they will be giving the spiritual teaching, and then apart from it they will make them learn the meditative techniques. So this is what was the reciprocal relationship between them. And then moreover, when this trade network have reached to China, so a large number of the Chinese Buddhist travelers have started coming to India. Some of the names you know, Huensang, okay, but Huensang ke pehle Fahian. So Fahian, Huensang, Itzing, okay. These are few names which I am telling. So these were the Buddhist enthusiasts or Buddhist monks who have come to India, but then they have taken a lot from India due to the trade networks. Then apart from it, trade networks also facilitated the reach of the Buddhism into many of the parts of the Southeast Asia, Java, Malaysia, then Indonesia, Singapore also, Thailand also, Myanmar, Vietnam, these all places. So trade networks have also played a very vital role. But then, ये ऐसे देखो, ऐसे discussion you can do. But then if you don't have the examples, so then it does not becomes a very concrete answer. So I'll tell you some of the traders. There was a very famous trader, his name was Anantapindak, okay? And he went on to become a Buddhist monk also. So Anantapindak, he was a famous trader, Buddhist monk also, and he not only continued his trade, but he also started to popularize Buddhism. Then there were two traders from Burma, Myanmar, who has come to India at the time of the Ashoka, okay? So these Trapusa and Brahalika. So these were two Burmese traders, okay, from Burma. They have come to India for trade, but then they have converted themselves to Buddhism, and they are the one who took Buddhism at the time of the Ashoka to Central Asia. तो म्यांमार से लेके सेंट्रल एशिया तक दे आर डूइंग इट, ठीक है, दे आर डूइंग इट. देन मोर ओवर on the trade routes itself, many Buddhist monasteries were also created. And so Buddhist monasteries in Tibet, Buddhist monasteries in different hilly areas of India, Leh, Ladakh, then so they were also one of the preservation center. But iske alawa, there are the other monks. I would like to read from my book that those who have helped a lot in the spread of the Buddhism. So their names are there. If you want, you can ask me that if you want to jot it down. So Just give me a minute. So I'll tell you some of the important names. So for example, one of the monk, okay, from India, in the 5th century BC, not BC, that's 5th century AD, Buddha Ghosh. He has popularized further, after the Ashoka's attempt, he has further popularized Buddhism into Sri Lanka. And one of his very famous book was Visuddhi Magga. Then Sanghabhuti. I think this was the question which was asked this year. Then, so Sanghabhuti was a monk from Kashmir, and so as he was a trader, so he has gone to China for the popularization of Buddhism in between 381 to 84 BC, AD, not BC, sorry. And his book was Shravastivada Vinay. Then Punyatrata. So another, you want me to write? लिख दूं, ठीक है, नाम लिख दे रहा हूं, तुम जॉट डाउन कर लेना, ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट नेम व्हाट आई मेंशन, बुद्ध घोष. Buddha Ghosh. So he has taken Buddhism, further popularized Buddhism to this area, Sri Lanka. मैंने लिख दिया यहाँ पे. Then the next name I mentioned, Sanghabhuti. So Sanghabhuti has gone to China. ठीक है? So has gone to China, and his tenure was somewhere closer to 381 AD. Then the next name was Punyatrata. Punyatrata. He has gone to Central Asia first, और उसके बाद then from Central Asia to China. Age also I'll give you exactly 397 to 401 AD. So 397 to 401 AD. Sangbhuti question, I think it was in this year paper, 2024 के पेपर में था. Then Guna Varman, he was a royal prince from Kashmir. And he was a royal prince from Kashmir, and he has taken to Buddhism to Java, where? Indonesia, and so as to China. So, mention Guna Varman. So, first he went to Sri Lanka, from Sri Lanka to Java, and from Java to China. So, he was a king of the Kashmir, but then he has gone to these all places in 6th century AD. 6th century AD. Then two more names I'll write, those who were popular in China. So, ek to Kumar Jeev from India, who has once again popularized in some parts of the China. Buddhism he has popularized, and he has gone somewhere around 343 AD. And the last but not the least, very famous personality from the Buddhism, Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma. And so in 6th century AD, he has also gone to China for the popularization of Buddhism. Okay? So this is there. Then these are some examples. And from Chinese side, who have come? Fahian, okay, during the time of the Kumaragupta, and Huensang during the time of the Harshvardhan, and so Itsing also during the time of the Harshvardhan. But now I'm coming to the topic of the another people who have played a very vital role in propagation of the Buddhism. Okay? So this is something which some of you, if you are there in the art and culture classes, तो जरूर मैंने बताया होगा तुम्हें. But then if you haven't heard, so let's have a discussion on them. Sogdians. Have you heard? Have I talked? Who were the Sogdians? Then, so understand. मैं एक बार map use करूँगा. So now understand. These countries, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, ठीक है? So there are two big lakes, ठीक है? यहाँ पे कजाकिस्तान और किर्गिस्तान दिख रहा है, ठीक है? Two big lakes are there, and they are that basically leading to a river also. These rivers are called as Amu Darya and Sir Darya. Got it? Very good, exactly. This area between Amu Darya and Sir Darya is called as Sogdia. The old name is Sogdia. What is Sogdia? Sogdia is altogether known for the first industry of the translators. Okay? So since Sogdia fell on the route of the Silk route, so what Sogdians did, that Sogdians, since from Sogdia coming to India was not difficult. Okay? There is already many passes which is leading to India. So Sogdians have come to India in large numbers, and then they mastered many of the languages of India, which was prevalent at that time. And whenever anyone from any part of the world, they are coming to Sogdia, they are knowing actually in Sogdia there are the translators. So they used to learn the languages from the Sogdia and they used to come to India. So including Hwensang also, Fahian also, Itsing also, anybody, okay, who wants to come to India. So these all people, they used to come through the route of the Sogdia. And moreover, these Sogdians, okay, they were so influenced with the Buddhism that they also accepted Buddhism. And at one hand, they are imparting the knowledge of the Indian languages, but on the other hand, Buddhist principles also. Got it? Then the king from the Indo-Greeks, okay? What is his name? Midandar. He met the Buddhist monk Nagasen, and then he started to test the knowledge of Nagasen through many questions, but Nagasen, Buddhist monk, he was able to give him a very good reply to each and every question. What Midandar did, he converted to Buddhism. So he converted to Buddhism, and moreover, he changed his name to the Indian name Milind. So that is another example. Then, so Sogdia Jarur Yaad Rakhna, okay? And earlier Sogdia used to be the part of this particular territory. Then moreover, let's come to that some of the things which we often say.
Are you struggling to complete your syllabus for the UPSC Prelims and Mains 2025? Is the lack of guidance stopping you from reaching your true potential? Vision IS brings to you a dedicated, personalized mentoring solution to transform your prelims and mains journey. Enroll for the Laksha Mentoring Program 2025 for strategic revision, practice, and targeted interventions. Attain high scores with key skill developments such as concept mastery, problem solving, answer writing, and time management techniques. Embark on your preparation journey with Lakshay Integrated Mentoring Program starting from 21st November. This comprehensive program offers unified mentoring for both prelims and mains 2025. Laksha Prelims Mentoring Program 2025 starting from 29th November. Intensive program focusing on prelims 2025 preparation.
How many of you were there in any of my ancient medieval classes? कोई था? तुम तो 4 लोग हो बस, 5-6. तो to you guys, I must have told you in the that medieval period, Genghis Khan. ठीक है? What was his original name? It is Khan or Khagan? His name is Khagan. ठीक है? Now I just want to tell you one of the leader. That in the medieval centuries, Buddhist population was declining from the different parts of the world because Islam was on the rise, and moreover, any religion other than Islam, particularly Buddhist, were on the roots of the Islamic invasion. So they were basically decimated. The leader who protected Buddhist and he came to the front was grandson of Genghis Khan. What was his name? Kublai Khan. Very good, exactly. Okay? So Kublai Khan. So Kublai Khan, leaders like Kublai Khan were also responsible for not only the preservation but the strong foundation of the Buddhism in some countries, and that's how Buddhism. इसीलिए मैंने सवाल पूछा था कि आज के टाइम पे बुद्धिस्ट का पॉपुलेशन सबसे ज़्यादा किस कंट्री में है, ठीक है? दैट इज मंगोलिया. देन अनदर रीजन दैट one last of the part that I just want to discuss with you, not much is left, that why Buddhism as a religion, that in India, though this discussion we do that it did not survive in a bigger way, but it survived outside India. So outside India, missionary activity सिर्फ पहुँचाया है बुद्धिज़्म को इंडिया से बाहर, but preserve करने में help नहीं किया. तो how Buddhism was preserved in the different parts of the world? It is because Buddhism became an adaptive religion. outside India. Then, so I'll tell you one story from the Pala dynasty and going to the Tibet. The initial leader, okay, during the time of the Dharmapala, one of the very famous Buddhist monk in Nalanda University was Guru Padma Sambhav. Okay? So Guru Padma Sambhav is the one who has taken Buddhism to Tibet. Now, once he popularized Buddhism over there, a large number of people accepted it then, but then he always maintained flexibility that the local culture of the Tibet must not be compromised in the name of the Buddhism. बीच में एक फेज आया जहाँ पे there were attacks from the dynasties of the China on Tibet and Buddhism started to decline. Once again from the Pal dynasty itself in the 10th century AD, Guru Atish Dipankar, ठीक है? So Guru Atish Dipankar has infused a new life in Tibet Buddhism. Then, and what he did, that he has gone to Tibet. He is also from the Nalanda and the Vikramshila University. He has gone to Tibet and he strongly advocated about the Buddhism in Tibet area to infuse the local culture strongly with it. Do not disrespect the local culture, but in fact a fusion must be created, and the new version of the Buddhism further got preserved and further started to get enhanced in Tibet. So though Vajrayana birth happened in Bihar, Nalanda and Mahavihar, that Vikramshila Mahavihar, but Vajrayana Buddhism developed its wings in Tibet. So Vajrayana developed into Kalachakrayana in Tibet, and Kalachakrayana, that local traditions of the Kalachakrayana emerged in the Tibet. So right now, the most popular tradition of the Kalachakrayana within Vajrayana only is the Gelug sect, okay? Gelupa. And I'll write the spelling. So Gelupa sect. And how we write? Like this way. And at the epitome of the Gelupa is the position of the Dalai Lama. Okay? Who is the present day Dalai Lama? Tenzin Gyatso. That's the original name of our Dalai Lama. Okay? Tenzin Gyatso. So highest spiritual position in the Vajrayana Buddhism is the Dalai Lama, and it's a position, but the person's name is Tenzin Gyatso, and the lowest position than the Tenzin Gyatso or Dalai Lama is called as Panchen Lama. So when Dalai Lama would be gone, so Panchen Lama, who is the next that unke just that niche, Panchen Lama will become the next Dalai Lama. When we compare this concept of the Dalai Lama with the Bodhisattva in the Mahayana Buddhism, so he is regarded as a form of Bodhisattva. Getting it? So it is the Tibet Buddhism which went strong, which is going strong, and it has been a pivotal thing in the preservation of the Buddhism. Then, जैसे Mahayana Buddhism India में है, there is a version of the Mahayana Buddhism in Japan. As I said ना कि 66% of population in Japan is Buddhist. So who are these? Zen Buddhism. Okay? So Zen Buddhism, that what is Zen? So Zen is that they, I'll add few more things what I have taught in the classes. So, so that it will be insightful to you guys. Zen is the Buddha's state of mind. Okay? He was the most calm, most composed, undisturbed, okay? Not to be kind of that creating any fuss. Then he is always in the eternal bliss status. Then, so Zen is eternal bliss. You are that very, very calm and composed. So that's what is called as the Zen state of mind. And in Japan, Zen ka matlab hota hai that Buddha's state of mind. But then the question is that how you achieve Buddha's state of mind. So they emphasize on the meditation and contemplation. So what is contemplation? There are two words I will say. Introspection and contemplation. Both are reconstructive in nature. Okay? So what is introspection? Batao, English word hai, but then meaning batao. You look back ki kya galat kiya, theek hai? What wrong I have done, how wrong I was, theek hai? And you take a determination that we will not be doing it. So that is introspection. But what is contemplation? You have moved beyond what you will not commit mistake. you move on to the phase that how you will be maximum beneficial to the people. So that is contemplation. Introspection about the correction, but contemplation is about creating a positive impact. Then, so they believe in the contemplation, and moreover, contemplation, they also emphasize that it must be done in the close vicinity of the nature. Then, so they highly emphasize about the serene places, not making it commercial. And then in the serene environment, calm and composed environment, you contemplate and then you give back to the society. So Zen Buddhism is very popular. Then let me give you some facts and figure. In today's time, that after India and China, okay, the place where the highest number of the Buddhist temples are there, that is Japan itself. More than 8,000 big Buddhist temples are there, small to be neglected, but 8,000 big Buddhist temples are there, and then almost all of them are associated with the Zen Buddhism. Okay? So this is what ways Buddhism went outside India and how it was preserved. And see that there is a purpose of the master classes, that as we always say, क्लास में भी मैं बोलता ही था कि देर इज़ ए लिमिटेड स्कोप दैट व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स कैन बी डन. उसमें भी हम लोग पर्टिकुलरली यहाँ पे विजन में दे गिव मोर नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस टू दिस सब्जेक्ट आर्ट एंड कल्चर. रेस्ट ऑफ द I will not name anybody, why to name anybody, but then that I know that hardly 8 to 9 classes are given, which is insufficient. But beyond that also, looking at the nature of the UPSC questions, that what they have asked, I think this initiative will quite help, and then keep track of it. कि जिस टॉपिक में ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब सब टॉपिक नेसेसरली करो ही, बट जिस टॉपिक में यू वांट एडिशनल नॉलेज, यू आर नॉट वेरी कंफर्टेबल, सो प्लीज़ डू अटेंड द मास्टर क्लासेस. ठीक है. सो आई हैव ऑलरेडी फाइनलाइज 10 टॉपिक्स. ठीक है, 2 आज मैंने किया है, 8 मोर विल बी डूइंग इन जस्ट बिफोर योर एग्जाम. जस्ट बिफोर का मतलब कि मार्च के पहले आई ट्राई टू कंप्लीट द टॉपिक्स ऑफ द कल्चर इन द मास्टर क्लास. ठीक है. सो नाउ आई एम वाइंडिंग अप विद दिस. ठीक है. Meet you in the next master class. Thank you. Is it fine? Did you gain something? Chalo. This is, but then you say in a very low voice. See that, क्योंकि देखो एक difference होता है ना कि we cannot dictate so that you take down the things then. But then videos would be uploaded. If you want to take down something, I think you already know. मुझे उतना नहीं पता जितना तुम्हें पता होगा कि when it will be uploaded, that part.